It go steal your sunshine, oh. It go shock you, oh. It don't kill him any youth for my area. Even for your area. When you start it to stop, it not go easy. As you they drag and go, it they drag you down. Water come out from my eyes, oh. When I remember all the guys, oh. When many of them kick it bucket, oh. Some cut to socket, oh. Make we don't forget, oh. So they talk it, oh. Say, rock up you see body, oh. Don't go push your busy body. If you die, you go sad, oh. Oh yeah, help me tell somebody. Say, rock up you see body, oh. Body, oh. Body, oh.
This message is brought to you by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA.
Even though, even though, even though, even though, even though he know to me, even to my body, oh, even though he know by me, he don't buy somebody, oh, even though you never, even though you want to, I really no bother, they go on do you, even though you didn't know, now you know, drug abuse is bad, oh, even though I, even do my body, oh, even though you know by me, you don't buy somebody, oh, even though you never, even though you want to, I'm again no bother, big old wound do you, even though you didn't know, now you know, drug abuse is bad, oh. Don't do them lie, don't do them no lie, I will do my part, I will sing them loud, even though, you know, be a drug addict, do your part to make highness for no carry them, even though you never, even though you want to, I barely no bother, they go on do you, even though you didn't know, now you know, drug abuse is bad, oh, even though he don't do me, even do my body, oh, even though he don't buy me, he don't buy somebody, oh, even though you never, even though you want to, I'm again no bother, big old wound do you, even though you didn't know, now you know, drug abuse is bad, oh. Even your friend says it's cool, don't fall for it, don't fall for it, even the country hard, oh, don't fall for it, drug abuse is bad, oh, even though you never, even though you want to, I barely no bother, they go on do you, even though you didn't know, now you know, drug abuse is bad, oh, even though he don't do me, even do my body, oh, even though he don't buy me, he don't buy somebody, oh, even though you never, even though you want to, I'm again no bother, big old wound do you, even though you didn't know, now you know, drug abuse is bad, oh, even though you didn't know, now you know, drug abuse is bad, oh.
September, year 2024. Thank you for joining us on this conversation today. We appreciate everyone joining from across Nigeria and those joining us from the rest of Africa, Middle East, Asia, America, and Europe. It's our pleasure to host you here today. Thank you very much. We're live from the national headquarters of NDLA, located in the nation's Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. We'd like to inform you that this is a platform where we share information, knowledge, and raise awareness about substance abuse and its development, public health, and indeed our environment. We'd also like to let you know that indeed on this platform, it's a channel for us to provide help to those struggling with substance abuse who need treatment. It's equally another avenue for us to update you about the activities of the agency, especially what we're doing to curb the scourge of substance abuse and illicit drug trafficking, as well as getting your feedback so that we can continue to improve on our deliverables so that we can serve you and continue to serve you as society and indeed humanity better. I also like to let you know that this conversation is recorded and is streamed live on our other social media handles. There are people joining us at NDLA01 on Facebook and at NDLA TV on YouTube. Because it's recorded, you can always go back and take a listen to the recording and even share with others. I'm glad to see that our guest speaker today is already well seated. But before I invite her to make her presentation, please let's remind you of some of the activities of the agency in this past week in our news highlights segment, which will be taken by Netta and Miriam. Netta, let's have the update you have for us this week. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good day to everyone, and thank you for joining us on this week's X Space. My name is Netta Bedozie, and here are the NDLEA news highlights for the week. First, the headlines. Wanted drug baron behind 4 cocaine shipments to Saudi Arabia, Qatar arrested. No hiding place for barons, says Marwa, as NDLEA declares 2 others wanted. Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, have taken into custody a wanted drug baron, Alhaji Suleiman Ganiyu Aremu, aka Barry Shine, 2 years after coming under the radar of the Anti-Narcotics Agency. Suleiman, who is the Managing Director CEO of Barry Shine Suleiman Nigeria Limited, came under the agency's watch list over his alleged role in 4 failed attempts to export cocaine to Saudi Arabia and Qatar through the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, MMIA, Keja, Lagos, between 2022 and 2024. His name first featured on November 13, 2022, when a female passenger on Qatar Airlines flight to Saudi Arabia, Alhaja Ajisegi Rikainde Sidika, was arrested at the MMIA in possession of 400 grams of cocaine, which was concealed inside female footwears. Investigation later revealed that one Abdullahi Olaranwaju Ramon, who is a brother to Suleiman, hired the arrested drug courier. Further facts emerged that the flight ticket and other travel expenses of the suspect were sourced by Alhaji Suleiman Ganiyu Aremu. A few days after the arrest of Ajisegiri Kehinde Sidika, another drug mole, Lawal Latif Oyenuga, was also arrested on November 24, 2022, with the same quantity of cocaine, 400 grams, concealed in male footwears while going to the same destination, Saudi Arabia. The suspect, Lawal Latif Oyenuga, confessed that one Wasi Yusani Bolahan, aka Teacher, who was later arrested and convicted by the courts, hired him for Suleiman. Lawal further alleged that Wasi Bolahan linked him up with the baron through one Igbono, who was later unveiled through investigation as Oluwafemi Akande Abidoye, aka Igbono, Murphy, Femi Iwaya, Ade Iwaya, Baba Eje, and Eje Oto. While investigation of the 2 cases subsided and the manhunt for the baron was ongoing, 2 drug moles were arrested at the MMIA on June 21, 2024, on their way to Doha, Qatar. One of the suspects, who was later identified as Aikomon Daniel, aka Oladapo Olarinwaju, expelled in observation custody a total of 90 pellets of cocaine weighing 1.022 kilograms, which he ingested, while the second suspect, Ayigoro Wahid Omobolaji, excreted 60 wraps of cocaine with a total weight of 662 grams. Further investigation later revealed that the two arrested couriers, Aikomon Daniel and Ayigoro Wahid Omobolaji, were recruited by the same Igbono who works for the Baron and featured in 2022 during the arrest of Aji Segiri Kehinde Sidika and Lawal Latif Oyenuga. Financial investigation conducted by the agency also links the Baron Suleiman to the arrested suspect and two of his associates who recruit traffickers for him, Oluwafemi Akande Abidoye and Olarenwaju Abdullahi Ramon, both currently at large. As a result, the agency blocks the bank accounts linked to members of the cartel, after which Suleiman was eventually taken into custody on August 26, 2024 for further investigation. In his statement, Suleiman claimed he is into property development and hotel management while he lives in Lagos and Paris, France. He also stated that he runs another business that deals in clothes with his wife at Balogun Market, Lagos Island, adding that his regular visit to Saudi Arabia was to perform Lesser Hajj. He said he holds the traditional title of Akeweje of Yaba, meaning youth leader of Yaba land. Already, some properties traced to Suleiman include 2 houses at number 63 and 72 Queen Street, Ebute Meta, and his Barry Shine Hotel at number 95 Freeman Street, Yaba, Lagos. Meanwhile, Justice Dipeolu Dende Isaac of the Federal High Court, Lagos, has granted an application by the NDLEA for the extension of the detention of the drug kingpin Suleiman for 30 days and to declare his two associates, Oluwafemi Akande Abidoye and Olarenwaju Abdullahi Ramon, both currently at large, wanted. Ruling on the motion ex parte in suit number FHC/L/MISC/555/24, Justice Dipeolu said, an order is hereby made declaring one Oluwafemi Akande Abidoye, Igbo, Murphy, Femi Iwaya, Ade Iwaya, Babaeje Ejeoto wanted, who is presently at large for his involvement in multiple drug trafficking activities with Suleiman Aremu Ganiyu, aka Barry Shine. The judge also ruled that an order is hereby made declaring one Olarenwaju Ramon Abdullahi wanted, who is presently at large for his involvement in drug trafficking activities with Suleiman Aremu Ganiyu, aka Barry Shine, with respect to the arrest of Aji Segiri Kehinde Sidika, who was arrested at the MMIA Keja, Lagos, during outward clearance of Qatar Airways flight to Saudi Arabia with 400 grams of cocaine concealed in footwears. Reacting to the developments, Chairman, Chief Executive Officer of NDLEA, Brigadier General Muhammad Bubamara, retired, commended the officers and men of the MMIA Strategic Command for the painstaking 2 years investigation that culminated in the conviction of 3 traffickers and the eventual arrest of the kingpin behind the cartel. He said this demonstrates that the long arm of the law will always get whoever is involved in the criminal trade, no matter how long it takes. That's it on arrests and seizures. Now, here are some of the other activities across the country for the week. Over to you, Mariam.
Thank you, Netta. My name is Mara Musa, and here are some of the weather activities across the country for the week. Every week, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, through the War Against Drug Abuse Water Social Advocacy Initiative, continues to share the message about the dangers of drug abuse and supporting citizens to make informed decisions on substance use through sensitization lectures conducted in schools, worship places, and communities, among others. On Monday, 9 September 2024, the Anambra State Command delivered Water Enlightenment Lecture to women of Infite Dunu community, while the Edo State Command of NDLEA on Tuesday, 10 September, conducted water sensitization lecture for nurses and midwives at UBTH School of Nursing, Ogbowo, Benin City, on the dangers inherent in substance abuse. On same Tuesday, the Oyo State Command took water advocacy lecture to members of Organizers Association of Nigeria in Ibaraka Central Local Government Area. As part of efforts to mobilize and develop coordinated action targeted at enlightening the public, the Kano State Command of NDLEA paid water advocacy visits to the Emir of Rano, Alhaji Muhammad Isa Umar, on Wednesday, 11 September. The Ogun State Command also delivered water enlightenment lecture to staffs of Drug Fields Pharmaceuticals Limited, OTA, while the Niger State Command facilitated water sensitization lecture to students of Federal Polytechnic, BIDA. In the same vein, the Zone C Zonal Command conducted similar water sensitization lecture for students of Kukudus Islamic School, Mina, while the Katsina State Command delivered some lecture at Madarasa to Sababul Tahir Islamia Daura on the importance of shunning drug abuse same Wednesday. On Thursday, 12 September, the Zone F Zonal Command paid water advocacy visits to the management of Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital, Kaduna, buttressing the need for collaborative efforts in combating the menace of drug abuse in the country. Creating awareness on dangers inherent in drug use, the Adamawa State Command on Friday 13th took water advocacy lecture to Muslim faithful at Central Mosque, Demsa. Engaging both students and teachers, the Jigawa State Command of NDLEA delivered a compelling water sensitization lecture to students and staffs of Government Secondary School, Galamawa, and Government Junior Secondary School, Kasiduse, same Friday. Concluding the water activities for the week on Saturday, 14th September, the Abia State Command of NDLEA delivered water sensitization lecture to youths in Aba, encouraging them to develop skills needed to resist the temptation of substance abuse. That's the updates for this week. My name is Mariam, and I hand you over to our host, Mr. Femi Babafemi.
All right, thank you there, Miriam and Neta. Welcome back from the news highlight segment. It's time to remind ourselves about some of the rules guiding our engagement on this program today. Please note that when we approve you to be on the speaker's corner, ensure that you remain muted until our guest speaker finishes her presentation, and thereafter we invite individuals to unmute themselves and start giving their own insights or asking questions or interrogating the presentation by our guest speaker. Please also note that we're not allowed to interrupt while another person is speaking until we approve you and we invite you, we call your name out to please do so. That we appreciate you for keeping to the rules every week on this platform, and that way we're able to have a seamless conversation and then we enjoy what we're doing here. Thank you once again for being part of we have quite a number of people already gathered on this platform. We will be acknowledging them one after the other, but then that will come shortly. We have before we get to invite our guest speaker, let me quickly remind us about the NDLA's call center, where we have a wide range of professionals and experts in the field of substance abuse prevention and treatment, as well as mental health, ranging from counselors, clinical psychologists, psychotherapists, and psychiatric doctors. They are available 24/7 every day of the week to provide support, psychotherapy, and psychosocial support services to those who need help. All you need to do is, right from the comfort of your home, dial our toll-free helpline 0800 1020 3040. The number again to dial is 0800 10 20 30 40. Just call the number. It's toll-free. You are not paying for the call, and somebody will attend to you. You can rest assured that you have really nothing to fear about being judged or being stigmatized, they would definitely protect your conversation with them. And in addition to that, this service is also language sensitive, meaning that if you cannot communicate or speak with them in English or Pidgin English, you can rest assured that our experts there would definitely attend to you in any of the three major Nigerian languages, that is Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo, making it really such a way that nobody has an excuse not to seek help, especially those who are struggling with substance abuse, who need support, who need treatment, or their friends or their relatives. That's it for that. And now let's quickly move to our guest speaker, who I believe is ready for us. Today, we will be discussing the challenge of recreational drugs and mental health among Nigerian youths, prevention, treatment, and treatment options. Indeed, we all understand this is a huge challenge, especially among our youth, and then we'll continue to bring this kind of conversation so that we can get new insights, so that we can get new ideas, information, knowledge about how to respond to all of these issues to the benefit of our general populace. Fortunately, we have someone who is very enthusiastic and an advocate of mental health awareness, and that is Dr. Joy Ominu. Dr. Joy Ominu is a dedicated medical professional with a strong academic and clinical background. She earned her medical degree from the National University in Ukraine, where she laid the foundation for her career in healthcare. Following her graduation, Dr. Ominu completed her housemanship at the Federal Teaching Hospital in Lokoja, Kogi State, near the Federal Capital Territory here, gaining valuable hands-on experience in various medical disciplines. Currently, Dr. Ominu serves as a medical officer at the Medical Center of the Martin Luther Agua International Leadership and Peacekeeping Center in Jaji, Kaduna State. Her role at this prestigious institution involves providing comprehensive healthcare services to a diverse population. In addition to her medical practice, Dr. Ominu is passionate about mental health awareness. I believe I said that earlier. She is equally committed to raising awareness and promoting mental health initiatives, understanding the critical role mental health plays in overall health and well-being. Her dedication to both physical and mental health care underscores her holistic approach to nursing and patient care. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Joy Ominu as I invite her to unmute herself while we listen to her spend the next 30 minutes thereabout to discuss our topic for today, that is the challenge of recreational drugs and mental health among Nigerian youth, prevention and treatment options. Please go ahead with your presentation, Dr. Joy. It's a pleasure to have you on this week.
Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're listening from. As the host rightly said, my name is Dr. Joy Ominu. So I'll be speaking on the topic, the challenge of recreational drugs and mental health among Nigerian youth, prevention and treatment options. Before I proceed, I want to appreciate the organizers for giving me the privilege to speak on such a crucial topic. So, what is mental wellness? It simply means you're able to think, to feel, and act in ways that create a positive impact on your physical and social well-being. Why do we need mental wellness? Why is it important? One, decision making. Be able to make informed decisions for problem solving, effective communication, and then you are able to realize your own abilities, your strengths, and build on them. You also be able to contribute positively to your community. And then, how do we work towards mental wellness? First, you have to be at peace with yourself. You have to know yourself. Discover yourself. That's the number one thing. Discover yourself. Know who you are. Because when you know who you are, that way you will live a happy and fulfilled life. You know that there are some things you can change and there are some things you cannot change. That's when you live it. And also, you be able to identify your abilities and those things you cannot change. You leave them. The ones you can do. And also, learn to say no. You don't have to please people all the time. Know when to say yes, know when to say no. Some people don't know how to do that. They always want to please people. But when you know, okay, this is not working for me, I'm sorry. Politely, I can't do this. That way you're happy with yourself. Because you're not trying to displease yourself to please other people. And then another way is that you can have a journal where you express yourself. For me, that's what I do. Sometimes when I'm pissed, when I'm stressed, I have a journal where I jot things and I just write. For some people, they listen to music. Anything that works for you. Some people paint, some people draw. It depends on you. What works for you. So, how do we maintain mental wellness? First, you need to be healthy. You need to maintain a healthy lifestyle. By exercising regularly, take balanced meals, you limit your alcohol consumption. Before you vote, you be involved in you give these things of satisfaction when you do things for people. And when you help out, it gives you this sense of purpose, it gives you this satisfaction. Alright? So now, I want to throw this question open. Please feel free to answer. Anyone can answer this question. Why do you think young people do drugs? Why do you think young people engage in illicit drugs? I'll mute my mic. I want it to be an interactive session.
When we get to that point, when we get to Dr. John, when we get to that point, they come at you. But you can proceed, just proceed. They will come at you when we get to that point.
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Okay, no problem. So, what are recreational drugs or psychoactive substances? These are substances that modifies our perception, our mood, our behavior, and also our motor function. These drugs include both licit and illicit drugs or substances and can lead to dependence. And some of these drugs, people think they are not harmful, but they actually are. I want to bore us and start listing. I'm sure you know some of those drugs that are harmful. Those recreational drugs, we talk about alcohol, weed, or marijuana, those inhalants. Some people even inhale laughing gas these days. The depressants, people take sleeping pills and all of that. But they have very harmful side effects. But before then, why do people take drugs? Why do young people take drugs? Most of the time, it stems from low self-esteem. And also, it could also be from the family that maybe their parents are absent, or just a disruptive family where they are not loved at home. So they tend to take drugs, they tend to, they want to be like their friends. They want to, okay, my friend is doing this, definitely I should be able to do this. Let me also show that I'm a big boy or I'm a big girl. And then they also allow peer pressure to push them into taking these harmful substances. So that is why parents have the major role to play, because it starts from the home, it starts from the families. You as a parent, you have to, because you are the role model, you are the first teacher. Before the child goes out, before the child goes to school, you are the first teacher. You are the child's friend. You should be able to create that relationship. They will be free with you. That love is there. They can easily confide in you. They can easily tell you anything they are going through. Ask them, who are your friends? Meet their friends. Ask them, sit your child down. Tell me, what are your fears? Those things that make you bond with that child. So that if at all when he or she goes out, they know who they are, first of all. And there are certain things they will not do. Why? Because the love is there. Why? Because that bond is there. So, as parents, we have a lot to play. A lot to play. I've met a lot of people. I've met, let me share this. So I have a friend back then in school. She was addicted to weed and what's it called? Tobacco. So I always counsel her, advise her as my friend. This thing you're doing is wrong. You're studying medicine, so you should know better. Back then in medical school, you know that taking this thing is harmful. And she said, yes, but I'm trying hard. I'm trying hard to stop. But at the time, she was in a relationship with this guy, and the guy too also had the same challenge. And the question is, can two blind people lead each other? No. So she wanted to stop, but the guy wasn't willing. As a matter of fact, she stopped. She was able to stay clean for about 2 weeks. She was clean, she stopped. After some time, she went back. Why? Because of the guy she was dating at the time. Because when you see your partner doing the same thing, you will go back. It's not rocket science. So that is why if you're in a relationship and your partner is into any of all these drugs, hard drugs and all that, if you know you cannot change the person, if you've tried your best, my sister, my brother, walk away. Save yourself first, I'll say that. Save yourself first. Quit that relationship. Because it's not heading anywhere. Save yourself. Ask for help. Don't be scared that you'll be judged or stigmatized. Just make that effort. because you'll be doing yourself a favor. It's not a win-win situation. There's a lose-lose situation, because at the end of the day, you mess yourself up, your health, everything. So, what are the effects of taking these harmful substances? Initially, when you start, I hear some people say, it helps me read, it helps me think, it helps me, it helps me, keeps me, going. That's the short-term effect. That's the short-term effect. Initially, you feel relaxed, you feel happy, but then, long-term, that's when you start having those very serious symptoms, those very serious signs, like the nosebleeds, lack of motivation, and all of that. And it's even worse when you get to the point where you're addicted. It's like a pit. Addiction is like a pit. It's very difficult to, come out. Not impossible. It is possible, very, very, but it's difficult. It's better to prevent it than to even enter. Like I said, it's like a pit. Because when you start, it will only take your determination and your resilience, and it will also take the grace of God to come out of it. And also, when you start having those withdrawal syndromes, it's also bad when you stop taking some of these harmful drugs. You start having, some of them, you see them like they're going to die. You start having these panic attacks, sweating, itching, scratching their body. Why go through all that? The first work we have has to start from the family before it gets to the community. Because when you have that good relationship with your child, definitely it will be difficult. Yes, you meet bad friends. You meet bad friends who take those harmful substances. But when they remember, mommy loves me, and I tell mommy everything, there's no way she'll be happy about this, or there's no way my dad will be happy about it. They will definitely not, they're definitely not going to it, And then, and also, how does it affect the community? Crime and illicit drugs, they go hand in hand, 5 and 6. Most of all these street guys that take drugs, most of them steal. They are aggressive, they always try to get money, just to get that crack, just to get that weed, just to get heroin. They do whatever it takes. They can even kill, to get it. It makes you aggressive. Aside from that, there are a lot of negatives, There's nothing positive about taking psychoactive substances. One, you'll be sharing with contaminated injection equipment, sharing of contaminated, what's it called? When you share injections, like all these ones, they inject heroin and the rest. You get hepatitis B or C, HIV. So is that life? That is not it. You'll be sick. Of course, you tend to spend money, maybe money you don't have. Some will go and borrow. They will go and borrow just to get drugs. Aside from that, the violence attached with it is just too much. So that is why we have to try our best to keep raising awareness, do more outreach programs, go to those communities, talk to the youth, so they know better. So, how do we prevent this? How? Like I said earlier, the parent to child communication is very, very important. That is like the bedrock before any other thing. That is the bedrock. So parents need to work on their parenting skills. We all need to work on our parenting skills. And those of us that have kids, that are married and all of that, need to work on our parenting skills. Also, we need to promote a safe and supportive environment. Create awareness even on social media, organize recreational activities for these young ones. When they are on holiday, what do we do? You can organize some programs for them, engage them. The idea here is they should be busy doing productive things that will help them grow, that will help them, lead a better life, that will help them to be good leaders, that will help them to be better. What else? Like I said, it's a collective effort. So that means schools need to be involved, the family, the workplace, churches, even mass media. Everyone needs to be involved if we want to prevent this, what I call it, it's a menace. If we want to prevent this is what we all need to do. We all need to work together. Yeah. So, for the treatment, what do we do? When someone is ready, because you have to be willing, and say, okay, this is not life. I need to stop this. It's harmful to my health and it's harmful to my life. I'm not living a productive life. It's affecting I've made up my mind to quit this. So now, you made up your mind. The next step is to get treated, of course. So, for the treatment, first of all, you have to assess this person. You check the organs, run some tests and be sure that there are no underlying issues as a result of the drugs. And then detoxification, that means you manage the person's withdrawal. Because when you stop, there's this withdrawal symptoms that follow. You are used to doing something, and then all of a sudden, so that is what it is. So you need to stabilize the individual. In that period of detoxification, they are not going back. They stopped taking whatever it is, whatever substance it is that they've been taking. So that's the period of the assessment and detoxification. After that, we now move to rehabilitation. You counsel the individual, or if it's a group, you counsel the person, encourage the person, make the person feel comfortable, show empathy. The same thing is you're putting yourself in the person's shoes. So the person has to be comfortable. You counsel the person, and then you address the underlying issue. What happened? Why did they do the drug? You need to That will help you with the treatment, and that will help the person. So you don't have to go back or have a relapse. You ask the person, what happened? Like there's a reason. They don't just start. Could it be as a result of peer pressure? Could it be as a result of the person's background, the family? Could it be as a result of abuse? Or it could be anything. Could it be hunger? Yes, like the streets, the kids on the streets that don't have shelter, don't have food, can take drugs just because of that. Hunger, yeah, because of their hungry. They just take drugs. That is what they can easily say. So you have to find out. And then we also have the behavioral therapies, uh, motivational interviewing, where you it's also a form of counseling. You motivate the person. The person will have a time to think and reflect. So also we have some medications as well. Medication assisted treatment, MAT, that's what it's called, where some medications like methadone are used, naltrexone, and so on. They are used to manage the cravings because the person will still be craving for those drugs. So that's what us that craving. And then maintenance and recovery. That's the next one. There should be support groups. Support groups. People like that with the same issue in the group. That's where there will be accountability, and you will not feel alone. And you see that, okay, this one too is going through the same thing I'm going through, or has suffered while in the same group. You feel like so this with a coping strategy, what to do when the person gets triggered. Okay, what do you avoid? How to avoid the triggers in the first place. So, and then you continue care. You regularly check up on the person. That's why there are healthcare providers. They are experts. They do that. These support groups. You regularly check up on the person, so he or she doesn't feel alone. So that brings me to the end of my conversation or my lecture. So please, if you have any questions or addition, please feel free to ask and feel free to share. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Joy Ominu. I believe we're loud and clear now. Let Daly and Mahmoud confirm from that end if we're okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much once again, Dr. Joy Ominu, for that lovely and detailed presentation. Taken and presented in a way that would make one feel really at ease while assimilating this whole thing. We'd like to appreciate Dr. Joy Ominu once again. She's shown her versatility in how versatile she is on all of these issues, especially when it comes to the issue of substance abuse and mental health wellness among our young population. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. Quickly, let's get to appreciate also those who have joined us on this platform. We will be doing that in batches as time permits. We'd like to appreciate Uncle Deji, that's at Deji Adesogan, for being part of our conversation today. Thank you very much. Would also like to appreciate Ahmad. Ahmad, thank you for being regular on this space. Thank you, Funsholawa, also regular on this space. Mohammed Bafo, also regular on this space. Gloria Akpabio, thank you, Madam, for always being here. Dr. Moses Tinga, thank you for joining our conversation today. Abubakar Gado, thank you for being part of this conversation today. Mercy, thank you for joining us. Ushe Grace Unwobu, thank you for joining us. Dr. Asiya Adamubio, that's a senior member of this platform. Thank you, Madam Asiya Adamubio, and congratulations and happy birthday. Yesterday was her birthday. We just really can't have enough time to do all that we need to do. I actually planned to see her yesterday, but unfortunately it didn't work out as I planned. But then I would always catch up with you on that, Madam Asiya Adamubi. Thank you for always being available to support and expand our conversation on these issues. Rookie M, thank you. Sabir, thank you. MD Mohammed, that's at Dantani Mohammed. Thank you for being part of the conversation today. Would also like to appreciate our dear lady Maria Ilugbohi. Maria Ilugbohi was also a guest speaker on this platform recently. Thank you, Yaro. Thank you, Prince Eshimokai. Prince Eshimokai always joins us from the US. Thank you, Prince Eshimokai, for being part of the conversation today. Hazan Idris Akaba, that's a senior officer of the agency. Thank you, Commander. Dr. Edine Usoro joins us from the South. Is also a regular on this platform. Would also like to appreciate Suleiman. Suleiman, it's a regular on this platform also. Thank you, Pascal Iwebu. Thank you, Kendeo at Kenny Ola 20. Thank you. I also have some of my colleagues on this page, Shidi Unduku Ritage. I also have Idowu Ogunyemi. Thank you. I also have another of my colleagues, Dr. Jonah Kolo. Thank you, Dr. Kolo. We also have Scholar MKI. We have our command in Ekiti and Delta also joining the conversation. Thank you guys for being part of this conversation today. We have Tolani Nasiruddin. Thank you. Let's take a pause there so that we can go ahead into the conversation. For those who want to ask questions, for those who want to make contribution, this is the time for you now to start asking for the mic. I'll take the first question before I go into a DM, whether contribution or interrogation or question. I'll take that from, okay, let's start with, before I come to Yola, let's ask Olumighty. That's Oshinubi, that's Olumighty, that's Olufemi Oshinubi, a very great young man who has been doing quite a lot out there using sports to really take the attention of a lot of our young people off drugs, and he will be doing something very soon that's on the Guinness World Record. Thank you, Olumighty. Olumighty, please, if you have a contribution or question, go unmute yourself and go ahead. Okay, if Olumighty is not ready, let me ask Mahmoud. Yola. Okay.
So I will come in when I have the questions. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
All right, Olumighty, thank you very much. Okay, let's get to Isayula now. Isayula, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, sir, for this opportunity. And I would like to appreciate the NDA for this wonderful and enlightening program. I want to share an anecdote. Last year, I came across a young man in my neighborhood, bright, talented, full of potential. Unfortunately, he fell into the wrong crowd and started using recreational drugs. And within months, his health and mental state deteriorated so rapidly that it shocked everyone who knew him. His parents, who had no idea how to intervene, struggled to get him the help he needed. And his life has never been the same. Now, given stories like this, my question is, what are some practical steps parents and communities can take to identify early signs of drug use and support young people before things spiral out of control? Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Okay, Dr. Joy, I'm sure you got that. Hello, Dr. Joy. You are muted, Dr. Joy, so you have to unmute yourself. So that
Hello.
Okay, please go ahead. Okay, please go ahead.
So in cases like this, like I said, everything starts from where? The home. So as parents, you have to be very observant. You have to be very, very observant. Usually people that are young ones that take drugs, most of the time they are secretive. You just see them, they keep to themselves. You don't want that. So you should always just try to have that relationship with them. Draw them close. Find out about, like I said earlier, find out who their friends are. Find out who their friends are. Try to know them. Have that bond, have that relationship. That is it. Have that bond, have that relationship. Then as for the community, you can always have outreach programs, create programs that you benefit from, especially during holidays. You create programs, even for the ones that are not in school. Because of them that have skills, that have talent, engage them. That is it, just engage them. Create all these opportunities for them to use their gift, to use their skills. And I think with that will serve as, how do I put this? That will serve as a distraction. At least they won't look the other way. If they have something they are doing, they will not have to take drugs. When you engage them, when you give them things to do, tasks to do, they won't have time to look the other way. So I hope I answered the question.
I believe so. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Joy. Let's take this one from. This is from Khartoum. Khartoum is asking you. Thank you, Dr. Joy, for your presentation. For people who do not believe in talking to a therapist or specialist concerning their mental health, how do we convince them into getting help? Because this is the current situation I have on. Okay, I believe that's clear, Dr. Joy. Please go ahead.
So for those people, you have to give them practical examples. Like for me now, I'll give an example. There was a time I was going through something. I had social phobia. I don't know social phobia in the sense that I had this fear of being around people When I go out, I get so tense, my palms become sweaty. I'm just giving this as an example. I had to, because it was really disturbing me. Why don't I go out with my friends? Sometimes they say, Joy, let's go out, let's go and chill. That fear is there. You see me sweating. I have to see a therapist. You understand? So when you explain, when you tell them the pros and the cons, when you do this, you get better. You explain to them and you are patient with the person because you don't want to force them, you want them to do it willingly, right? So you just carefully and politely explain to them, gradually, okay, just do this. If you do this, you get out of this. If there's an example you can give, you give them practical example, okay. So A has this, you see, I connected A with this therapist. Now see A is doing fine, A is better. Sometimes you just want to be sure that okay, someone has, done it and then work for the person. Sometimes they feel bad, they feel shy, if I'll put it, for someone to talk to someone about their problems. So you just have to be patient with them. While being patient, you carefully outline how the benefits of what that will do for them. Thank you.
All right, we would like to appreciate Dr. Joy once again. Let me read this one from Maurice. Oh, no, sorry, Maurice. Maurice is asking, can you break it down? Guest speaker, the connection between mental health and drug abuse in a way young people can actually understand how important it is to avoid this in the face of obvious economic challenges driving them into either or both of the malady. Do you get that, Dr. Joy?
Sorry,
okay, you want me to take it again? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Maurice is asking you to break down the connection between mental health and drug abuse in a way young people can avoid this in the face, can understand how to avoid this in the face of obvious economic challenges driving them into either or both of the malady, that is into either drug abuse or mental health. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yes. So, mental health. Wow. Okay. Mental health or say mental wellness, positive state of mind. That's one. And then we all know we're all going through something, especially in this country, Nigeria. We know financial challenges. I'm sure because when you now do drugs, what are you hoping to achieve? If that solves the problem, you're just trying to run away from the problem. You're not solving it, it's still there. So what's the point of doing it and then destroying your life, your future, your health, damaging your organs, So yes, everyone is facing one challenge or the other, especially in Nigeria. Understand that, know where you are, okay, this is how it is. There are some things we cannot change. Just take it like that and don't allow it affect your mental health or your wellness. You should do things that will improve, improve your mental health. There are a lot of things to engage in. A lot. You can start painting. Some people have that talent. Use your talent. Use your skill. We all have skills. We all have talent. Use that. Let that be your go-to instead of, drugs. Use your talent. Get good things. Things that will help you make money. I know money is another thing that affects our mental health. Money, very important. In fact, if you can walk on the street, just give somebody 5,000. Avoid anything you know that will affect you mentally. Avoid it. And drug is bad, it's a no-no. Substance abuse is a no-no. So when you know the adverse effects of that, what it can do to you, I don't know. If you can go online and check, just search online. People that are taking notes, I'm sure there are pictures there. In fact, I've seen a lot of documentaries. Just go on YouTube, look at the before and after. There are two different people. So why if you want to do that to yourself? Just for 5 minutes pleasure, and then after that, you see that the negatives are more. In fact, there's no positive. No, you're not winning here. So it's best to just avoid it. Do things that make you feel good. Make you really sound. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much once again, Dr. Joy. Let's take this one from Tunde. Tunde is asking. Okay, thank you, Dr. Joy, for your brilliant presentation. But I have a question, and I want you to answer it from your heart. Okay, where else would she answer it from? Okay, today is asking, there have been talks about the role of spirituality or religion as a possible intervention in prevention and treatment. As a medical doctor, do you believe in this and why? Okay, somebody is trying to put you to test there, Dr. Joy. Please go ahead if you got the question.
Do I believe in what? Do I believe in what? Come again.
Now, today is asking, there have been talks about the role of spirituality or religion as a possible intervention in prevention and treatment. As a medical doctor, do you believe in this and why? Did you get that?
Interesting. Yeah.
Your network is failing, Dr. Joy. We are not hearing you. If you can hear me, Dr. Joy, your network is failing. No.
God.
Dr. Joy, if you can hear me, your network is failing.
And I advise people
No. Yeah, Dr. Joy, you are talking, but I can tell you that most of us on the platform are not hearing you. Your voice is cracking, meaning that your network is failing. If you can adjust your location a little so that you can take the question again. We didn't really hear anything from your response to that question. Dr. Joy, can you hear me now? Can you hear me, Dr. Joy? Okay, let me quickly, while Dr. Joy is... Dr. Joy, can you hear me? Just confirm if you can hear me. We're not hearing you from this side. Your network is...
Hello?
Okay, you're just back now. Your network was failing. We actually didn't hear anything from you, your response to that question. Yes, she's off again. Okay. Pending when she stabilizes, let me quickly acknowledge, I've seen some of my colleagues there. That's Dr. West. Thank you, Dr. West. Dr. West is a medical doctor and an officer of the agency. Where is Asma? I've seen Asma. Okay, thank you, Asma. Asma, one of our young, brilliant officers. Thank you, Asma. That's Asma Ahmad. Gideon, thank you for being part of the conversation today. Mercy Tolani. Tolani has been trying to come on, but I guess her network is failing. Okay, let's. I think Dr. Joy is back now. Let's. Dr. Joy, can you hear me now? Please unmute yourself if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so that question,
Can you hear me?
yeah, we can hear you now. But while you were responding to that question, we didn't hear anything from that question. So you may have to. You may have to come back with your explanations.
Okay, so I saw the role of religion in prevention and treatment. Yeah, can you people hear me?
Yeah, that's the question. Yes, we can hear you now. Go ahead. I'll come back to Olumati after Dr. Joy. Yeah, we have that problem with Dr. Joy again. Your network is failing again. We can't hear you again.
Can you hear me? The network is bad, right? Oh my God.
Yeah, we didn't hear you when you started. It's just now we're hearing you again. Okay, let's move to Olumighty. Let's hope we're able to sort Dr. Joy out quickly. Olumighty, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for giving me the platform. I still want to zero in my question on that spirituality that one of the team asked, but the question goes like this, sir. It's just like, how can even all faith-based organization, contribute to addressing the challenges of drug abuse and the mental health among the organizations? That is, how can they contribute to address these challenges of drug abuse and mental health, among Nigerians? And number two is that in entertainment and social media, what role does the entertainment and the social media industry play in shaping attitudes towards recreational drugs in Nigeria? And those are my two questions, sir. This wonderful evening, sir.
Thank you very much, there, Olumaiti. We'll come to you. You can mute yourself now, Olumaiti. Okay, Dr. Joy, are you is your network stable now? Let's hear from you if you can hear us. Yes, Dr. Joy, you are muted.
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay.
Yeah,
we can hear. Yeah, we can hear you now, please. We can hear you now.
Okay, so the role of religion. Well, like I always advise people, find God. Yeah, that is number one. Know for yourself, right? I feel the role churches can play is they also create awareness. You know, every time you say pay tithes, pay this, also churches too, they can also create, you know, talk to new people, have, you know, church program. Not every time it is spiritual. Sometimes organize programs for the youth. I know some churches, yeah. So that's how they do. By creating awareness as well to the youth. That will also help. For entertainment, uh, well, entertainment, they can also do that by also, that's where the media comes in. You know, in this country, anything, anything can trend. They can even bake cockroach and before you know, it will start trending. Anything trends. If it's not choosing, it's something else. So that way you can also create awareness on social media. That's why it's there. You just need to keep talking, and the right people will see. You know, that is it. Aside from that, I think that is it. If any other person has anything to say, they can add. Thank you.
All right, let's quickly get, thank you, Dr. Joy. While you stand by, let's quickly get Gideon. Gideon, please unmute yourself and let's hear your contribution or question.
Yes, thank you, sir. I want to make a contribution. Well, my name is Gideon. I'm a Nigerian, but currently I don't live in Nigeria. Yes, this is a very good conversation. I want to make a contribution. Yes, I have 4 years experience working with the juveniles that were detained in or locked up in a correctional center. Yes, I think some of the solution to these recreational drugs, or we call it a pill, medication pill, like in a Western country, you can actually get approval to get some of these drugs. Yes, most of these drugs is very dangerous, although they give it to the kid, to the youths, or to the people to help them with their lives. But you will see at the end of the day, they will finally end up getting killed themselves, or getting into crime, or even get more addicted. I think the solution should be from the parents. So we should actually educate the parents. Yes, that's where the whole thing comes from. Well, creating awareness through religion, education, they help too, but the most important thing is the family, the parents that bring these kids to the world. What do they do? Are they actually involved in all these drugs, crimes, and all those things? So I'll advise every parent in Nigeria to watch their kids from 10, 15, 20 years up. They should take care of the kids, watch where they go, and the people they associate with. Because if you train your child from 15 to 20 years, that child will not actually go into drugs. Even if that child will go, there will be a limit. So my own contribution is this: Nigerians' parents should wake up now to watch their kids, give them that education, so that they won't fall into recreational drugs and going into mental pro health issues. Like when I left Nigeria, it wasn't like this. Yes, All this drug that's coming into Nigeria now, I think it's very easy for them to access it. How do they get it? From friends, families that don't care about their children. So the most important thing is for the government to talk to the parents and give them that education so that they can actually teach their children at home that, hey, drugs is not good. You don't need medication pill to sustain your life. You don't need that, because there are so many consequences coming from all these medication pills. One, health, your kidneys, your livers, everything in your body, your heart keep going down and down and down because all these drugs is not helping. Yes, if we pay attention to our brain, you see, everything the people drink and smoke go to the brain directly. Yes, so it's not helpful. So I would like the government, the NDA, earlier to strongly work with the parents, like, going to the media, social media, going to the community, the rural areas, educating them the importance and the consequences of, recreational drugs and mental health about their children. Because when we get our kids when they are small, when they grow up, they will not even get involved to mental health or recreational drugs. Thank you, and I use my mic for now.
Thank you very much, dear Gideon. We appreciate that inspiring contribution from you. Dr. Joy, would you want to speak to what Gideon has said, or we should go to the next?
Let me add this. Thank you, Gideon, for your contribution. See, I don't know if you've noticed. We think it's by beating or by flogging your children that they will be of good behavior and then they will not engage in those bad things that you don't want them to do. You're making a big mistake. If you think it's by flogging them, yes, you can do that. You can discipline your child. There's nothing there. But that is not the main thing. That child wants to have a relationship with you. That is it. Simply have a relationship with your children. It's not by beating them or by acting all tough and very strict that you get the best from them. It works for some and it doesn't work for some. It depends, it varies. You understand? So let's get our priorities right. Yes, it's good to correct. Yes, it's good to flog them every once in a while. Discipline them, but that is not the main thing. Just try to have a healthy relationship with your word, with your child. That's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you there, Dr. Joy. Obiageli is asking Gideon a question here, but before I come to that, let me invite Dr. West to step in for his intervention. Dr. West, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, sir. It's a pleasure to be on the space again. I just wanted to react to the question by, I think, Mr. Almighty or Almighty. The question is actually a very good question. I'm more interested in the aspect of how we can, when it comes to social media and entertainment, how we can restrict content that has to do with advocacy for use or abuse of substances. There are stakeholders in Nigeria who are supposed to play vital roles in helping us reduce that. If you look at the films industry and the entertainment industry, you have the Nigerian Film and Video Censorship Board. They are supposed to come up with policies to see how they can censor content that is not appropriate for Nigerians, or content that will advocate or promote the use of substances like you see in your music videos, etc. For social media, it's going to be very difficult because social media has been one area that has become very difficult to regulate. It's become very difficult to regulate, but I think if we deploy solutions that certain countries have used, in trying to manage content that are abusive for children and for the citizens of Nigeria, that might go a long way. Now, when it comes to religion and how religion or spirituality can be an influence in an individual's life, the truth of the matter is, if we look at the order of things, after God is government. Human beings tend to respect or fear God and government. The reason why is because for these two entities, there is always a deterrent or there is always a punishment for being found wanting, etc. But as human beings too, it's also good to understand that religion is not just abstract. There is a section of the brain, especially in the premedial cortex, that is responsible for providing excitement, reward systems, etc., for things that are based on faith. The studies are there. Christianity, Islam. When you have a faith in a certain religion or in a certain way of spirituality, there is a portion of your brain that is interacting. There is a portion of your brain that has certain synapses or that is being triggered. So there is this kind of reward system that you get for having belief or having faith. There's also the possibility of feeling like there will be a punishment of some sort. So it's a good step. It helps to regulate or restrict people from getting deep into drug abuse. And then thirdly, I think the churches and the mosques and the religious society, they are very, very big stakeholder when it comes to drug demand reduction. But there are methods that I think they should apply. So the pastors should preach the right things. They should preach about societal behavior. They should preach against drug abuse. They should channel most of their preaching to some of the issues that we are facing currently. That's a way they can also play a role in trying to reduce the scourge of drug abuse in Nigeria. And there's so many people who are currently utilizing illicit substances, and they feel comfortable until they fall very sick. When you fall very sick under the influence of drugs, I don't think anybody that has been in that situation would want to utilize drugs at that point, because the person is already living in the consequence or the complications of the substance abuse. So it's good for us to educate holistically as a team, educate people on the complications and the consequences and the effects medically on your health, on your mental health, your physical health, etc. Thank you very much.
That's awesome. Thank you very much, Dr. West, for the intervention. I believe that has made up for all of those explanations offered by Dr. Joy, and definitely satisfied the quest by Olumighty. Thank you very much once again, Dr. West. Quickly, let me go back to the question by Obiageli, is responding to the contribution by Gideon. Okay, thank you, Mr. Gideon, for your contribution, but you dwelt largely on the intervention by the family and the parents. What if in a situation where the individuals don't have parents of dependable family? What happens to community-based interventions in preventing drug abuse among our youth? I'd like to have your thoughts and that of your colleague, Dr. Joy, on this. Okay, I think, Mr. Gideon, that you came in to contribute and now somebody is taking you on. If you are still available, can you unmute yourself before Dr. Joy adds concludes on that? Is Gideon still available? Unmute yourself if you're available. Otherwise, I'll invite Dr. Joy to respond to that. Okay, most likely Gideon is on his way to work. I guess it's in those regions where it's in the morning. So, Dr. Joy, if you can hear me, please go ahead with that. You are muted, so you have to unmute yourself, Dr. Joy. Where is Dr. Joy? Okay, Dr. West, go ahead. Take care of this while we're expecting Dr. Joy and Gideon to stabilize. Dr. West, unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Sorry, I didn't get the question. The network was a bit shaky.
Okay, what Obiageli was asking is that Dr. Joy and Gideon dwelt largely on the family intervention, parental care, but that what if in a situation where the individuals, the youth, if they have no parents or dependable family they can rely on, what about community intervention in preventing drug abuse among youth? That's the question.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So Nigeria is a developing country, and we are gradually building different methods for social security interventions. The community system is one of them, especially at the grassroots level, the local government areas, etc. In Nigeria, we've seen some forms of intervention, even though they might have been brute or harsh in nature when dealing with the scourge of methamphetamine in the East. We saw examples where children who had been exposed because the local government or the community system had not been educated on how to, manage such situations. You see things as bad as children being tied and flogged mercilessly, all in an attempt to disabuse them from drugs. I think the government needs to create funding and human resource development for the grassroots level in dealing with illicit substances, because the truth of the matter is some of these drugs before in the past were assumed to be for very wealthy people because they were expensive. Now they are available even to the poorest people, and some of the factors that also drive people into drug abuse, just like unemployment, coming from a home from a very poor background where you have no parents, you fall into the wrong hands, peer groups, etc. I think the government can create programs where we can educate people in the local governments to intervene when it comes to psychotherapy, the early stages of psychotherapy, which could be counseling. We could also deploy human resources to these local governments to also help to train some of the future trainers. It's just like doctors, doctors are not supposed to exist only in high-broke areas. They're supposed to also take their services to local governments, etc. Because anywhere you have human beings, there's always a demand or a need for such services. So the government should pay attention to the grassroots and not neglect these areas. We should have more people trained. There could be collaboration both from the religious sector, from the medical sector, mental health experts, and then train some of the young leaders in those local government areas to be able to deploy some form of skill in handling some of these drug abuse victims, both in a preventive manner, or that they're being proactive, and also when it comes to being reactive when some of them are already exposed. The key word there should be training people and giving them the right information to empower them to be able to manage such cases in this community environment. Thank you.
All right, thank you, West. I'll tell you just now, please stand by, because I have this person appreciating how you broke down your explanations on this issue. But please let me ask Dr. West, what's his take on culturally sensitive solutions? How culturally sensitive solutions can also address mental health and drug abuse challenges in Nigeria? I think you have broken down family, community. Now somebody is asking culturally sensitive solutions. Please go ahead, Dr. West.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Nigeria is fast developing, and we are gradually shifting away from some of the cultural norms that have been able to regulate our behaviors. While growing up, there were certain things we could not do. There were certain things our parents could not do, especially for those of them who grew up in the village or in the rural setting. We lived by strong cultural rules and norms. Unfortunately, today, not to say that some of these norms have fizzled out, but with the advance of Western education and development, migration, some of these norms are not taken as serious as they were. But I can tell you that there are certain parts of Nigeria where their cultural norms are still, their traditional norms are still taken very seriously. So I think it's more like having a hybrid, because most people right now live under freedom of choice, freedom of association, freedom of speech, interaction, and all that. Those things they're not part of what the cultural norms would preach back in the day. So I'd say that would be a very difficult question to answer, because one would have to understand the limit of his powers. If you're living within the cultural system, I believe some cultures already have some teachings. If you steal, this will be done to you. If you are caught doing fornicating, this can be done to you. Different cultures have their value systems, but because of law, right now we live in a time where there are very few places that practice what do you call this law? Customary law. The law is now very, very self-explanatory, and we are practicing a more definite kind of law, not customary law. So they say where one person's right starts, another person's right finishes. So we have to look at it from that dimension, and I think it now boils down to the leaders in such communities who have the powers to create laws within their small systems, to also support the type of legislation that we have, by ensuring that they create some of these policies in their customary system that would also help people at the grassroots, to deter them from getting involved with drug abuse. But I think that is also entirely dependent on the people who live in that environment, because I don't think the monarchy system, they still have such powers to just create any law without people getting involved. We're in a democratic system, so I think depending on the environment, they will have to look at all the factors that are involved and come to some kind of understanding or consensus on how to create some of these cultural policies that can help.
All right, thank you very much there, Dr. West. Quite a number of questions are dropping in based on this conversation. Is Dr. Joy, can Dr. Joy hear us now? If you can hear me, please unmute yourself and let me have that indication, Dr. Joy. Okay, West, there is this from Iyola. Iyola is saying, following from the conversation by Dr. West, what would be his, following from the conversation on the culture from Dr. West, what would he make of a situation in parts of the country where growing and use of cannabis, for instance, is seen as part of their culture and values? How does he think this can be undone, what has been done by the culture? Okay, Wes, do you understand? I'm trying to figure out what the person is. Okay.
Yes, sir. I understand. In this case, the Nigerian law, the Constitution, and the NDLEA Act will definitely override such a customary law. First thing is, we should also remember that we are living under the umbrella as Nigerians. Whatever guides us is our constitution and our legal system. So where we have antecedents where customary law is trying to promote something different from our value system as a country, then I believe that the Nigerian legislation, the constitution, the NDLA acts and all amendments for overlapping mandates from all those federal agencies would definitely supersede that. It should be noted for the benefit of that is actually a criminal act and has its own penal codes under our legal system in Nigeria. So it's a no-brainer. There is no way a customary law where cannabis is being planted and cultivated can stand in Nigeria because of the extent laws we have. However, in the future, if the country advances to a level supposedly where the abuse of cannabis is reduced significantly and technology or science shows that there are other added values for the use of cannabis. For example, maybe there are components that can be used for production of something else. Then the country, I'm sure, as a progressive country, will find a way to create policies that will allow, within a controlled environment, make provisions for production of such substances. But like in previous Twitter spaces we've had, some of these issues have come up, and it's clear that the country is not ripe enough for such. So we can't compare ourselves to people in the Netherlands or people in California where they have advanced to a certain level, both within their enforcement, their legal enforcement system, surveillance, and also their social development. We can't compare ourselves. So I can tell you that where such a thing is happening is criminal, is illegal. If they are caught, they'll definitely be prosecuted. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. West. That's good enough. Very well done. Okay, Dr. Joy is back now. Dr. Joy, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, very well. Your network seems to be better, stable where you are at the moment.
Yes,
okay. Enough of the questions. Would you want to speak to them now? Those you probably have had. Dr. West had actually done excellently well on your behalf through his interventions, and the more he speaks, the more questions drop in our GM. But go ahead, Dr. Joy, if you want to speak to any of those issues, add to what he has said on expand it. You are
Dr. West has said everything. So for now, I have nothing to add.
Okay. Then let's take. All right. Thank you. Let's take this one from Hawa. Hawa is bringing. I'm sure this also has to do with culture and religion. Hawa is asking, in the north where I come from, it's a big challenge getting help into those struggling, especially the women and our girls struggling with substance abuse in the face of the culture and the religion of some of these locations. I'll need our experts to please give us more insights on how we can get help to these people who, by virtue of culture and religion, mostly spend their time indoors without being able to come out for help, neither do they get help from outsiders as a result of the restrictions placed on them by culture and their religion. Okay, Dr. Joy, did you get that? Okay, I'll come to you, Gideon.
Okay. Information is key here. If they know better, if they know they are aware, they will do better. So basically, it's just for the professionals and the experts to work hand in hand with those communities. You know, have these programs where you talk to these people you speak their language, when you speak their language, you have their attention. You know, when you're able to speak any language, you'll be able to get the attention of those people. So just communicate with them and then enlighten them. It's just to educate them. That is it, basically.
All right, thank you, Dr. Joy. Okay, Gideon, let's have your intervention now. Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you once again. Yes. Well, religion and parents is one of the correction that can reduce and help the people that been affected. But the most important solution is government intervention. Yes, government need to come up because this is about life and death. Yes, can you imagine your friend, your family, your mom or your dad is going down because of the substance the person swallow or smoke? So the government need to come up with immediate effects, like NDLEA. They need to train more people, put them in the service, and begin to enforce the law. It doesn't matter whoever that is involved. If it is me, if it is my mom, if it is my parent, if it is my sibling, my uncle or nephew, whoever that is involved should be prosecuted. Because this is all about life. Imagine you see a young person that's supposed to be in the school and that person is already a mad person. It doesn't give joy. Yes, it doesn't give joy. Government should come in. Government should come in, not only arresting or prosecuting, they should come up with good solutions, like going to the villages. Like Nigeria is not like Western countries where they can track the people with electronic devices, get them wherever they are. But the government needs to come in. We need to recruit more people into NDLEA to talk to these people. Yes, that's what we need right now. And also, make sure that the law is being enforced. It's not only arresting the people and somebody will go and pay money through the back door and get away from it. No, we want the person to be sentenced. If you are caught with those drugs, all your gangs should be arrested and be punished so that people will not continue to do it. So we really need government help. It's not only something that family can do. It's not only thing that religion can do. Because if we depend only on the religion and the parents, it's going to get worse and worse. Let me give you an example. Where I live, people are being arrested on daily basis. Yes, people are being arrested. And not only arresting them, they prosecute them and put them in jail for a number of years so that they don't belong to the street. These people selling these things and our kids, our children, our mom, our parents are buying it. Those are the ones that is causing this thing. It's not even the people that are taking these drugs because some of them doesn't know. Somebody can say, okay, let me try this thing for my first time. From your first time, that's the end of the person's life. Yes, so we really need to support the government. If you see something, you say something. Whenever you see these people, because you don't know who will be the victim. Yes, you don't know who will be the next victim. So if we see something, we report it. In a normal way, not by shouting, going on the street. No, report it through to the government. That's what we need to do, because if we start to crack them down, it will reduce and it will stop. And the government will not say, okay, let's enact the law, let's make it free. Let everybody start having access to recreational drugs. No, it's not going to help us. Nigeria is a country that is developing. We haven't reached that stage where we will say, okay, it is legal for everybody to be smoking marijuana on the street. It is legal for you to have a bag of marijuana in your car. No, we haven't reached that stage. So we need government help. And we also, as the people, should come out and support the government. Because this is a very, very big issue in our country. Yes, my friends have been telling me in the village that they form a group they call them the youth. The youths are the one that is going to people's houses, those that smoke methamphetamine, they call it timburumin or whatever they call it. It's the youth that are flogging them and doing those things. So we need government to come and help those this issue to the government so that the government will come in. So this is what we really need, and we need everybody's hand to support us. The government, the governor, the president, the police, they should help Nigeria, because if we don't wake up, this thing is going to affect everyone. Imagine, for example, somebody that is being mentally, because of drugs, have access to a weapon. What do you think gonna be? I may be the victim. The person can actually, shoot somebody. This is why the challenges of recreational drugs and the mental health issue is very, very dangerous. It's dangerous more than bomb. So we all need to come out and criticize it, support the government so that we can control it, not that we will stop it.
Thank
you, and I yield my mind.
Thank you very much, Gideon. The summary of what Gideon is saying is a whole of government and a whole of society approach to this whole challenge, this whole malady, and that has been the strategy being coordinated by the NDLA so far. Thank you very much. I will continue to get there as we expand the frontier of this conversation. Okay, next I'll take, let's take the intervention or question from Jafar. Jafar, please unmute yourself and let's hear from you. Dr. West, stand by, please. Jafar, please unmute yourself. You have the floor. You have the mic. You are muted. Your hand is raised, but then you are muted. Please unmute yourself. Okay, if Jafar is not hearing me or is struggling with his mic, let me then invite Dr. West to speak to all of, this last segment of the conversation, while Dr. Joy will prepare for her closing remark. Okay, please go ahead, Dr. West. Dr. West, if you can hear me, please unmute yourself. I guess it's okay. Let's we have Dola. Is it a question or an intervention?
It's a question initially. Then also, I'll introduce myself and thank you for having me so quickly. I don't think I deserve to immediately come up. So, my name is Dolaido. I am a qualified cardiac physiologist. I still work on the NHS, but when I was clinical, I was a cardiac physiologist. Now I work in IT. I grew up in Festac. And in Festac, they smoke a lot of cannabis sativa. I've never smoked in my life. I don't know how to do it. But I don't know. I'm trying to wrap my head around the fact that why is this still being criminalized? That is a question. That is the question part of it. If that can be answered by NDLEA, that would be great. Why is it still being criminalized? If it's not laced with anything, if it's just the herb, why is it still being criminalized? Where in a lot of other places, it's now commercial, and the governments are making money from it. That's my question. Thank you.
All right, straight. Thank you, Dola, for that. First, as far as the law in Nigeria today is concerned, it's a criminal offense to possess and to deal in cannabis. Whatever strain it is, whether cannabis sativa, whether it is the synthetic ones called Loud or Colorado, they are all under the law, under the current law, it's illegal, it's criminal to possess and to deal in them. That is one. Two, why? Because quite a lot of reasons, and I'll tell you first, all that we have been discussing here today, Dr. Joy, Dr. West, Gideon, and every other person that had made contributions, we all agree that indeed this substance. Well, it's not just, but mostly if you look at the population of those who abuse illicit substances in Nigeria, based on the result of the 2018 drug use survey that we have, out of 14.3 million Nigerians grouped, that is those within the age bracket of 15 and 64, said to have abused illicit substances, 10.6 million of them actually abused cannabis. And from all our discussion here today, we know that indeed these recreational substances or drugs, as the case may be, they have implications on the health of the people. In addition to that, there is a strong nexus between the abuse of these illicit substances and some of the security challenges we have in our country today, and which is equally something that is global. There is a strong nexus between substance abuse and crime and criminality. So, I mean, we can't say because some people are making money from it, then we want to do the same thing without considering our own peculiarity, our own situation. Look at 10.6 million people. When you have a population of cannabis users, 10.6 million, that's more than the population of some 2, 3, 4 African countries, even more than the population of some countries in Europe. So how do you handle that? When the repercussion comes, in terms of even the health, the public health issue, how do we make, for instance, if we have to speak hypothetically now, if, for instance, some people, because that has been this your argument, what you what you based your argument on, or why, or justification for the use of cannabis is the economic benefit of it. Now, if we have, for instance, to make like $10 million from the export or dealing in cannabis, and we have to spend $20 billion building rehabilitation facilities, where is the logic in that? If we are making 10 million from it, and yet we are having communities of junkies out there as a result of the abuse of this particular substance. So we can go on and on this discussion, but as far as the situation is concerned in Nigeria today, that is the law. But then I can see Dollar is still raising his hand. But before I come to you, let's give the opportunity to Jaffa. Jaffa, you've been trying to struggle to make a contribution. Please unmute yourself, Jaffa, quickly. The time is, we're out of time. Please go ahead.
All right, thank you. I had a little problem with my network, but thank God I'm back. I have basically two questions. It might be a contribution, but it's coming as a question. What is the government doing in terms of influencers we have, mostly entertainers, musicians, actors, who openly on their social media handles and other media platforms take these recreational drugs, thereby promoting its usage among our young population? They see them as idols. I might not see them as idols because I know better, but a typical 14-year-old at an impressionable age, even teenagers mostly, even some adults, see them as role models. And then these guys, I've never had a situation where a celebrity is called, cautioned, or seriously warned, or even arrested for taking recreational drugs openly on their social media. And secondly, we have spaces like clubs. I've been in such spaces before, and I've seen where these recreational drugs, highly dangerous ones, as I didn't taste it to know whether it is cocaine or not, but it looks like what I see in the movie, and then the mode of the way they take it looks like cocaine, and then they take it openly. And they are sold openly in these clubs. What is the government doing? These places are known places. A good number of people that go to the club, not everyone, take very, very hard recreational drugs. What is the government doing about these two issues I've raised? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much there, Jafar. I'll come to you, Dollar, but let's quickly respond to the issues. I think, Jafar, you raised three issues, not actually two, but quickly from the NDLA, I'll tell you, okay, first, the issue of influencers, what's government doing about them, those glamorizing or promoting substance abuse on using their platforms where they have quite a lot of some huge followership. Indeed, I'll tell you that at our level, at the level of the NDLA, we have quite a lot of things we are doing in respect to this. But then we also are limited by the dictates or the provisions of our law. For instance, I mean, somebody, I think it's Dr. West, that actually referred to the issue of, for instance, the content these people post. I mean, this whole thing, like I did say earlier, that it's about the whole of government approach and the whole of society approach. This is not just about the government alone. Yes, every stakeholder within the government system have to work together to be able to address this. At the same time, the whole of society also have to work together in partnership with the whole of government to be able to address this. That's having established that. But I'll tell you that as far as the NDLE, the provisions of our law, what we are empowered or allowed to do, we have been doing in this regard. That is first to enforce the law when it comes to when these people are found to have violated the law. Definitely, they are quite. That will also answer one of your questions. That's your second question about you've not heard of situation where some of these celebrities are arrested. I'll tell you, indeed, a number of them have been arrested, even as recent as some 2-3 weeks ago. Quite a number of them. I know of a particular one that was actually even arrested, prosecuted, and convicted without necessarily mentioning names, but I know that indeed we've had quite a lot of enforcement within that community. The other leg of it, apart from the law enforcement, is also the advocacy. That is the drug demand reduction, trying to take the message to these people and get their buy-in and ownership. That I also tell you that indeed we have been doing with the individuals involved within this entertainment circle within the Nollywood, and we work with the leadership of the association of these particular groups of people. And so that's why today I can tell you that indeed we work with the leadership of Performing Musicians Association of Nigerian, PIMA, work with the leadership of the Guild of Nollywood Actors, all of these people to be able to address these issues. That is one, enforcement, and the other, engagement with them so that they can see reasons why. And quite a number of them, I'll tell you that indeed majority of them are not into this because they know better and they are working with us either at the level of their associations or at the level at their individual levels. That I can tell you, a number of them have actually produced content advocating against abuse of substances, either directly for us or on their own. That I can tell you. Again, sailing clubs, I can also tell you that even indeed as recent as some 3-4 weeks ago, there was an arrest in Abuja here by the NDLA where some of these people gathered to do drug party. And even last year, there was an arrest of 200 in a hotel, in a club where they gather to do their drug party. And because we work largely on intelligence, that's where intelligence led, we raided those places and we arrested them. So, but then this is not just about the NDLA, it's a collective thing. We all have to get involved in this as individuals, as groups, as associations, as communities. I have quite a lot to share with you on that, Jafar. I can go on and on, but for space, but I believe I've given you some instances or some good explanations in this regard. I would like to take, before we close the space, thank you, Jafar, for acknowledging that. Before we close the space, Dola, you're trying to say something. In 30 seconds, can you wrap it up so that we can invite Dr.
Yeah, this is more an opinion, not a question. The reality is this. Cannabis in its purest form is not an issue. It's not an issue. It's not an illicit drug in that sort of sense. What is, in my opinion anyway, what the issue is that when it's laced with other substances, then it becomes an issue. It's a naturally growing herb. Everybody, if you ingest it this way or ingest it that way, that's fine. It's about methamphetamines and all these mints and all these cocaines and all that. That's my own opinion. So let's let cannabis breathe. So
thank you very much, Dola. Yes, indeed. You agree also that cannabis contains THC, and we know THC, that's a psychoactive content there. To also buttress, that's also to tell you that indeed it's not just an ordinary herb, it's something that has psychoactive content, and that's the THC there. But in addition to that, like you also rightly said, indeed, most of the, we at the level of the NDLA were in a position to tell you this because we've made quite a number of seizures in this regard. Most of what we processed with chemicals, right from even the cultivation. We've had quite a number of arrest seizures in this regard, laced with chemicals. So they are synthetic, they are not just ordinary cannabis, even though they appear like ordinary herbs, like you want to say, but then they are indeed laced, and that's how dangerous these things can be. So I would like to close it at that point. Let's quickly turn to our guest speaker today, Dr. Joy, for her closing remarks. Dr. Joy, please go ahead. Let's have your closing remark. We did appreciate your time with us today. 2 hours, that's not a joke. We appreciate that. Dr. Joy, please let's have your closing remarks. Today, 2 hours, that's not a joke. Joy, please let's have
yeah, so I'll end this by saying sustaining mental health requires time and effort. The more you, the stronger you be. We all have this problem of no drugs. We all find yourself and you are free to line. So it's 00040. I'll take it again. 0810240. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, dear Dr. Joy. You have simply done an excellent one here today. And I would also like to appreciate all of those people that have contributed. Dr. West, thank you very much.
You view my status.
Jafar Mohammed Bello, we appreciate you very much, sir, for your question, for your intervention, and for your appreciation. Also, like to appreciate our own brother there, Dola Idowu. Thank you for your questions and understanding of our own position as well. Together, we'll continue to drive this conversation until we get everybody to buy into it and take ownership of it, so that together we can have a safer community, a safer country, and so that we will not be having the kind of challenges would have driven down this problem of substance abuse and illicit drug trafficking in our country, in our communities. On this note, I'd like to once again appreciate everybody, especially our guest speaker today, Dr. Joy Omino, a dedicated medical professional with a strong academic and clinical background. We appreciate you. Thank you for spending the past 2 hours with us and everyone that has been a part of this conversation today. Until we come your way, same time next week, I remain yours, Femi Baba Femi. I hand over to Mahmoud. Please enjoy your weekend. Bye.
Gutter water handle you, you go just die throw away. When they handle you, you go just die throw away. Ecstasy handle you, you go just die throw away. When they handle you, you go just die throw away. Drama handle you, you go just die throw away. When they handle you, you go just die throw away. When cocaine handle you, and codeine handle you, when they handle you, you go just die throw away. When Black Mamba handle you, and Ref not show you shake it. When he handle you, you go just die throw away. Oh no, mama, no wait until them handle you. When they handle you, you go just die throw away. Paradise, oh, Crystal Metal. When them handle you, you go just die through away.